So I want to bring up something that's kind of controversial. I'm putting this slide in here because I disagree with it, but I like the person that said it. So during a quote, one of the things that they said is, while secret sprawl is a problem most companies experience, it's not hard to solve. So I disagree. I think it's very hard to solve completely, but I wanted to kind of get your perspectives on this. So Mike, I'll start with you. Is secret sprawl, as someone that creates a secrets manager that helps to combat this, do you feel that secret sprawl is something that can be easily solved, or at least solved?
Honestly, that it sort of sounds like famous last words. I'd be very worried to speak something like that, because you're asking for trouble. But it's I think the reality is secret sprawl is an ever evolving challenge. Your organization, nothing is static, everything's growing. Organizations grow, and even recently with the increase in remote workforces, that's introduced a whole new set of problems. You no longer have the physical security of an office. You don't have the security of an office network. Everyone's on their personal networks. Each might have vulnerabilities. Then digital communications now. I mean, you mentioned people sharing secrets in Slack. I'm sure that has increased over, with remote workforces. You have screen sharing. You could slip up and expose a secret through a screen sharing session, accidentally commit a secret. There's all kinds of challenges, and they will continue to grow. So I don't think it's never a problem that can be 100% solved. It's more of a strategy that needs to be implemented and continuously monitored. And I think it really sort of starts at the organizational level, and on every CISO should have secrets management and secrets sprawl front of mind, regardless of the size of their organization, because we all know, a single secret leaked can just send shockwaves through an organization. So it is super important, and it pains me to read this quote.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really like Brian, and one of the things that I say, I guess, is a little bit controversial too, kind of along the same lines, is that secret sprawl could be a solved problem in the terms that we have all the technology to solve it, right? Like we have the ability to have secrets managers. We can share secrets securely. We can store secrets securely. We technically can do it. It should be a solved problem, but it's not. So that's one area. James, do you have any? Go for it.
To say to that, I mean, with every problem in the world, the human factor is the wild card. We can solve it with technology, but the humans are the ones who will make the mistakes. The humans are the ones who are going to accidentally leak a secret. So that's what I mean by it's an ongoing challenge that you always have to be addressing, because even if you have everything in place to technically remove the challenge of secret sprawl, there's still humans involved, and they're the ones who are interfacing with these secrets. So
absolutely. I mean, even these secrets, they're made to be used programmatically from machine to machine, but humans still need to get their grubby hands on them and touch them and put them places they shouldn't.
I would say that it is somehow straightforward to do on a technical level, but the people factor is also very, very important. And I think the technical side is just work you have to do. You read up, you study up, you see what the technology is, and you implement it, you follow the guidelines. But changing people's behavior can be a lot more difficult at the end of the day, in my opinion. And I have a funny story there. We automated the DNS provisioning in our Kubernetes clusters. It's quite straightforward to do. And then we said, okay, you do it like this, and you don't have to get access to our DNS or do any of that. And then somebody got the service account credentials from the cluster, and we found it in a Git repo. So,
look, it happens. We have the website that we have. Can someone post it in the chat, because I feel like I'm going to get it wrong, but it's shitty secretmanagement.dev or secretstory.dev. Someone can post that in the chat from GitGuardian. There's a website that we have where people can share their funny stories about how credentials have leaked. And there's some doozies on there, I gotta say. Just before we move on, James, do you have a kind of an opinion of this as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Kubernetes example was absolutely on point. We see this again and again. With the best will in the world and the best automation in the world, we're dealing again with humans, and humans make shortcuts, and humans make mistakes. And yeah, I think that we're going to be in a world of mitigate. You're always in a world of mitigating risk. You cannot eliminate risk. As a parent, my job, I think very often is risk management, and you don't want to go too far. There have to be some freedoms there, but clearly you need guardrails and stuff. Occasionally, stuff will go wrong. So, secret sprawl is again, I don't think we ever get 100% in anything when it comes to technology.
Yeah, definitely. And just in case everyone, I just want to say that that this wasn't there to shame anyone at Doppler or Brian. I just put this in there because it's controversial and an interesting talking point. And I'm sure if he was here, he'd be able to defend himself, but he's not. So we'll move on. But why is it harder? Why, in my opinion? So this is the great thing about being a moderator, is that when it's my time to speak, I can actually have slides that go with what I want to say. So it's totally unfair, but I'm going to take the advantage. But it's the reasons why I feel like it's very hard to solve this problem is because it's really hard to catch them all without having any false positives. Everyone that works in security is affected by something called alarm fatigue. So, how do we capture all the secrets without kind of being alerted by too much alarms? That's difficult. Secrets are everywhere. So they're in the Slacks. We've talked about it. They're sprawling around. Debt keeps growing. So when you don't have a proper implement in place, when you don't have secrets managers in place to be able to solve this or detection, then the problem gets harder and harder, to the point where when we roll out GitGuardian, we'll find thousands of secrets. And it's almost so overwhelming that you don't even want to look at the problem anymore, because how can a team of 2 people deal with 3,000 incidents, and move forward? So there's another issue of kind of why it kind of gets put off, because once you know the secrets are there, you have to do something about it. If you don't know they're there, you don't. And then, redeploying them, revoking them, going through the process. It's not a matter of just finding the secrets. You have to go through the steps of actually changing it. So that's kind of what I kind of look underneath the surface. But I do agree that the point that technologically it's solved, on paper it's solved, but we still can't get there.